the Coo Coo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast, Series 8, Episode 5, Time Heist. I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is
Martha Southgate
and
Rob Southgate.
What
did you think?
I really liked it.
Yeah? Now, compared to the rest of this season, did you think this was as good as the last couple? No? This one didn't do it for you as much? What didn't you like as much? I know you liked the episode, but what didn't you like as much?
I don't know, I just didn't like that they were robbing the bank and I didn't really get some of the stuff.
Yeah, this was pretty complicated, wasn't it? How about you, Martha? What did you think?
I loved the dialogue.
Oh, the dialogue was hilarious in this one.
But I didn't feel like it was, for me, quite as fun as some of the other episodes this season. But I did enjoy, I certainly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who, like any week episode, is not a weak episode, like compared to any other show. It's still better than just
about any show out there,
exactly.
Right?
So I would never actually even use the word weak episode. But to me, it was just not. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as I've enjoyed the other.
Well, I'll tell you my thoughts. Now, the last couple episodes were spectacular. So, you know, if they've been running at about a out of 10, if the other ones were 8s, the last couple have been like 9.5, if not 10s even, you know. This one, I actually really loved this one.
Mm-hmm.
I would put this back at about an 8.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Now, here's what I think was wrong with this episode.
What?
This was a bigger story than 1 hour. This should have been like an hour and a half movie where they could have taken a little bit more time to develop, because where it fell off was in the last 15 minutes, it got very rushed. This was a big story with big ideas. And at that very end, it felt very much like when he started explaining what was happening, I was like way invested.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is amazing. But then it went flash, 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 done. And I was like, wow. They probably had another half hour of material that would have fleshed it out and added to the stakes.
I agree.
More interesting.
I didn't get when it showed it back with the doctor calling and stuff. And
I think it was rushed. I think that's why you lost it a little bit.
It's like, why did you do that? Why did he call again and he heard something and went in the TARDIS?
You want me to explain it?
Yes.
Okay, so we found out at the end. Actually, let's go back. Let's talk about the story just real quickly. Uh-huh. The Doctor and Clara, the phone rings on the TARDIS, which rarely happens, and he picks it up, and immediately they're sitting at a table, and they've got memory worms in their hands. And they're like, what's this? And those memory worms wiped out their memory to that point. And they get a message from the architect, and the architect tells them, you're going to rob a bank.
But it also had their own voices saying, I am Clara Oswald, and I authorize a memory wipe. So, so they were agreeing to this,
right?
But then when their memories were wiped, they didn't remember agreeing to it, but they heard themselves say they did.
So they don't know why, but they're told they have to rob this bank, and it's the most secure bank with the richest stuff in the entire universe. One of the lines I liked that they said was, "If you have enough money to own your own solar system, you have an account at this bank." That's how exclusive this is. System. So that is huge.
Do you know anyone who has enough money to own their own solar system?
No.
No. I would say no. If we did, I know of a great little podcast company that could use a angel investor that would love to take care of us. If you can afford a solar system, we're just asking for a crumb. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think that's... What he's saying a crumb means, in his mind, it means $4,000.
$4,000? Think bigger, lady. Think $4,100.
Oh,
okay, so what we saw then, we see this whole thing play out, and they break in, and we'll get into it. But to explain what happened at the end there, Molly, they went in there and they met, what's her name?
Dr. Calabraxis. Hang on. Dr. Calabraxis.
Right. So the name of the bank...
Carabraxis.
Braxis. So that was the name of the bank, which we're probably getting wrong. Anyway,
I wrote it down 3 different ways, but I think the last time they said I got it right.
They break into the private vault of Calabraxis, and there she is. And
Ish.
No, that was her. That was her. The others were clones.
Okay.
That was her. Because we saw the one who was the bank manager, who looked exactly the same, and then we find out that's just a clone.
Oh, you're talking about the end. Okay, I'm all confused because you're at the end.
Right.
Okay,
well, she wanted to know why he went, and they showed him on the phone again. Okay, so what he did was he gave her the phone number. She's the one that calls. He says, I'm a time traveler. And he still doesn't know why, but he's like, look, I know that he figured it out at that point that he is the architect. And that he gave her the phone number, and he did all of this stuff.
Well, he figured it out because he hates the architect.
Right.
And who does he hate more than himself?
Nobody.
So he sat there going, wait a second, I hate him. He's annoying. He's this, that, and the other thing.
He's a know-it-all.
He's a know-it-all. He thinks very highly of himself.
Right. And he's like, and I hate him.
And he annoys everyone around him.
So he knew it was him.
And he's like, oh, I'm the architect. But that's when he kept going, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut it up.
Shut it up. And then, because he was trying to figure it out.
And they're like, well, shut up.
So what he told her is, he said, you're going to be a very old lady, and you're going to have regrets. He knew that she was going to call, and that was why they went on this adventure. But he didn't know the whole story yet.
Then why did they immediately show them all sitting at a table?
Well, okay, here's what they did. It flashed back now, and it showed us what happened. When he picked up that phone, the reason that the memory wiped is those worms wiped their memory to that point. So that's why he only knew that point. But we got to see how the person who had called on the TARDIS was Calabraxis. Okay?
Dr. Calabraxis.
That she's the one that called and said, I have one regret. Or I have a lot of regrets, but I have one that you can help me with. And then it showed how the doctor then got, what's everybody's names in this thing? Got
Saber.
And Saber.
Clara.
How he recruited them. How he picked the guy. Remember how Saber turned into that older gentleman? He got that guy so Saber would look like him. He did the whole plan. He did everything. And that's what they were showing us, is how the whole plan was set up by the doctor.
Saber's a girl, by the way.
Yes.
So
she would turn into
She's
a guy.
Shapeshifter.
She would look like a guy. Right. So that's why, and that's also why when they broke into the vault, remember the first two things they found? One was something that would change Saber's DNA, which would help her so she could be normal. And
so
one would
she could choose when she wanted.
Right. And the other one was to help Psy, because he said, I wiped all my memories out. I don't remember anyone I loved, anything about my life. And it was tragedy. Well, he's saying, wait a minute, that was the thing was the thing that could help Psy regain his memories. So really what the doctor did was he said, if you guys help me with this bank heist to
Claire
get in there.
Nothing.
Well, she got to be with the doctor.
She got an adventure with the doctor.
She got an adventure.
Isn't that everything?
But that's what we were seeing, Molly, is we were seeing that whole thing filled in to see that it was the doctor. But the doctor didn't want to know that he was the one that set it up, because he never would have agreed to it, because he hates himself. He didn't want to take orders from that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he did it. And that's why the moment he picked up the phone, from that moment forward, his memory was wiped until they were sitting at the table.
So we didn't see them get in the TARDIS and take off, because it just flashed ahead because their memory was gone from that time.
Right.
So,
and the whole time he was trying to figure out what was going on, and he knew if he had known that he was the architect and setting it up, then he wouldn't have been thinking his way through the whole thing, and he wouldn't have gotten into that private vault, because he would have somehow gotten sidetracked with it.
So Claire was
why did he call himself the architect?
Because he created the whole plan.
Right. Yeah, he was the architect of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you going to say, Marth?
So at the beginning of the episode, Clara, this is really important. Clara was getting ready to go on a date with Danny.
Here we go with relationships. This was hilarious, by the way.
And so she's getting ready.
This is what Mom explains.
And he's saying, come on, go on an adventure. Essentially saying, go on an adventure with me. We could go to this, we could go do that. And she said, no, I've got a date.
Oh, yeah, I know what I loved?
What?
Okay, we're talking about in the beginning.
In the beginning, yes.
Okay, so we're in the beginning. So the doctor's like, he's looking at What was he looking at first? He was looking at something.
He was looking in her stuff, like maybe her vanity, something. He was in her room or her living. Oh, the fish tank.
Oh yeah. First, he looked at and then
it doesn't matter.
Something, and then he's like the walls of this, and then he looked at the fish tank, the lagoon of
the nebula, something or other. But he was naming places they could go. He wasn't saying it specific about
her room.
He was just looking in her living room.
He wanted to have an adventure, and he wanted to take her out on an adventure.
Oh. And she said,
she's like, no,
I've got a date. And then she kept going. He's talking, and she's going, look at me.
And she's doing her hair.
Yeah, but she kept saying, look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking.
And no, she goes, he says, yep, looking. And she says, no, seriously, look at me. And he goes, why is your face all colored in?
Yeah, why is your face all colored in?
He never has anything nice to say to her. And then
when she does a combination of all the doctors. He got that from Matt Smith.
Yeah.
He criticizes her.
And then he goes, are you taller?
No, that's later. So they flashed at Danny asking her out.
Yeah.
And he says, date, Saturday, whatever, 7 something. Second time, and she goes, well, you got the words out, not in the right order, but hey. So
that's an improvement.
That was really
Danny.
funny. So they kind of flash back to that. So then when they come back, she's standing at the mirror, and Doctor says, are you taller? And she says, heels. And he says, what? Do you have to reach a high shelf? He cannot grasp that she's going on a date.
And then when she walked out of the room, did you catch it? He's like, what shelf do you have to reach?
Right.
So funny.
That's when the TARDIS phone rings.
Right.
And she says, don't answer it.
Yeah, that means we're going to be doing something. And he's like, no, it's just the phone ringing. She wants
to go on this date so bad. And she's saying, stop distracting me. Don't answer that phone.
See, now, I thought when the phone rang.
I thought it was Amy.
Oh, really? I thought it was Clara, because the only person I know of that's called him is Clara. Remember when she called him?
Oh, wait.
From the past?
Here, you want to know why I thought it was Amy? Amy gave her the number.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Amy.
That would be crazy if Amy called. Well, it wasn't. Now we know. We didn't know until the end.
Been calling then still, because
because we saw who it was.
She was in another universe, though, too.
True. So now you're blowing my mind, Molly. But it was.
I'm doing this on purpose.
Crabavaxis, or whatever her name is. Carabraxis. Okay, we're gonna call her K.
K.
Dr. Carabraxis.
K.
So, how about? And this was the best to me. How about the teller?
Oh,
that was a wild creature.
Before we saw the teller, though, I loved this line.
Oh, okay.
So the doctor pulls Clara aside, and he says, "Why are we not using the TARDIS?"
Right.
And question 1, why are we not using the TARDIS? And she says, question 2, where is the TARDIS?
Right.
And he goes, oh, that should have been question 1.
That should have been question 1.
Yeah, because he always goes, question.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's like, breaking into a bank, we have a TARDIS. That makes sense.
Why would we not just use the TARDIS?
Question 2, where is the TARDIS? Oh, that should be question 1. Yeah,
so I thought that was funny. So now go ahead and talk about your teller.
I just wanted to talk about the teller. So the teller is this wild creature. And this was something that they broadcast it to you at the beginning. The doctor says, I don't know what this is. I don't like not knowing.
I love that.
That kind of explains what's going to happen.
I hate not knowing.
Yeah, but that kind of explains what's going to happen. If he doesn't know what this creature is, and think about all the creatures he's encountered and all the travels he's had, how is this one that he doesn't know anything about? And what it does, I mean, it's really cool what it does. Well, right. Yeah, but even so,
he would just remember a few things about Galaxy Cyberman.
No, but let's say
no. His memory was only wiped up to the point that he picked up the phone.
Yeah,
it wasn't wiped of all of his adventures.
So I would think that
I'm doing the wide eye right now.
Are you? Why?
Yes, I don't know.
Okay.
Because you're telling me that I didn't know.
Okay, so this creature, what he does is he can unlock your memories. He knows exactly what you're thinking, and then he feeds on that part of you
until your
skull
crushes it caves in.
As the doctor said, it turns to soup.
Mm-hmm.
And
it started to come out the guy's eye.
Yeah, and they're like, ooh, is it bleeding? And he goes, no, it's soup. Because that's what it is. He just destroys it. Well,
yeah, and it was like this howl.
How crazy was it when his whole head just caved in?
I think that was his brain holding it up.
Well, we have a skull.
Yeah.
And then the brain inside the skull, but he liquefied all the contents in his
that looked like someplace you could sit.
And then
Molly.
his skin just fell in.
We should get you a chair that's that guy's head.
Ew.
And then you could sit on it.
I think that's a terrible idea.
I think it's an awesome idea.
So through all of this...
I bet now they're going to make a chair like that.
Yes.
With just that guy's little head.
The team is trying to figure out how to work together. And who's in charge.
Right.
And the doctor says he is. And so at this point again, Sai says to him, and why are you in charge?
Right.
And the doctor says, basically, it's the eyebrows.
And then Clara nods like, yeah, that's what it is. It's the eyebrows.
He's in charge because basically it's the eyebrows.
Yeah. Because he just has angry eyebrows.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was when they're like, what do you want most deeply? And he's like, basically it's the eyebrows.
No, he said, why are you in charge? And he said, basically it's the eyebrows because he gets what he wants because he looks angry and people want to not cross him.
Right, they don't want to cross him.
He called the team... after the bomb went through the floor, and they were going to go through to the next level, and then it sealed back up.
Oh, right, because they thought the bomb was going to blow up.
He goes, yay, team not dead.
Team not dead.
That was what he called. That's what he was calling his team.
Oh, my God.
Team not dead.
So, basically, without getting into, beat by beat of the story here, what the story was really about, Molly, can you tell me what they were really doing? They weren't there to rob anything. What were they there to do?
They were there to save a species.
Right. The teller.
The teller.
And his woman.
Now, why were they doing
lady friend.
Yeah.
I'm not flirting. That's from the first episode.
Do you know why they were doing this? Does it make sense to you now?
Yeah. That they're trying to help the
Right, but why did he know about
that?
Why did he do that? It's because Dr. K...
C, I believe her name begins with a C.
No, it's a K because the logo on the bank was a K.
Dang it.
So, touche!
Oh, now I've done it wrong like 6 times.
But she said, I have a lot of regrets, but there's one you can help me with. And the one that she could help him with was...
He could help her with.
Right. He could help her with was releasing Teller's mate. Because they're the last 2 of that species, and she was keeping them apart so she could control Teller.
And she wants that
we'll call the other one Penn.
Yeah. So
what?
It's Penn and Teller.
Never mind. So he can take them back to their land.
Right.
And
that's what they do.
Them their life.
Once they figure that out, he figures out what's actually in that room. And they open it up, and there's Penn laying there on the ground all chained up.
But before that, the Teller...
But why were they wearing clothes?
Because they
was in spacesuits.
Yeah, it was like a straitjacket because its arms were held back and everything. They were prisoners.
Yep.
So that was what her regret was that she held this poor creature prisoner and kept him from his
both of the creatures.
Woman. Yeah.
Okay, so when the Teller came in the room and started to do it to the doctor,
right,
and he says, "Okay, come on."
Yeah,
unlock
find
my
out.
memories.
And he's like, I'm missing the last 3 days. Tell me what those 3 days were.
But he says, big scarf. He says, so many memories in here. Big scarf, bow tie, embarrassing. And he said, I was going for minimalist, but I think it came off magician.
Because, magicians have bow ties and scarves.
What do I think the minimalist is what he's wearing now?
Yeah.
So I think he was talking about the Tom Baker, the big
himself,
scarf. Yeah. Did he say question mark too? Because I think it was the question mark from the doctor that had it on his umbrella. Bow tie is embarrassing, but then what he's wearing now, he's like minimalist. It came off more like magician.
And he said, "Show me why I'm here." And he was trying to get the thing to unlock his memories.
Well, and of course, the others in the room were freaking out because they thought that Teller was going to turn his brain to soup.
Yeah.
But the doctor knew if we can figure this out, there is something tying into Teller. There is a reason I gave my number to her.
Yep.
There is something. You got to tell me why the last 3 days. And that's when we saw the scene where it went back and it showed him getting the call from Dr. K, him developing the whole heist, the whole thing. That was really cool. I also like when he figured it out and he says, this isn't a bank robbery.
Yep.
This
was
was
a rescue mission.
Well, no, first he said, this is a time travel heist because the architect is from my future telling us what to do. Why is that person in the future? Like when he figured that out, that's when it all started to click into place for him. So once again, I think from that moment, if they could have spent more time, another 20 minutes or so, developing the story, I think that this would have been one of the best episodes. I agree. I think that it fell victim to the fact that it was a TV show.
Yeah, it needed more time.
Because it was awesome, and I love what was happening, but I think it could have had more gravitas to Teller and Penn and to all that other stuff.
He's their name so Dad doesn't have to call him Teller and Penn.
Right? So, very cool.
So they take these two creatures.
They haven't talked.
No.
The creatures
the tellers, yeah.
Right.
talk.
They took them back and let them go, and they walked off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And then the four of the
they're eating Chinese
not
food.
Dead.
Yeah.
Had Chinese food, and
ooh, you like that? They're eating out of the cartons.
I love when they eat out of the cartons.
Yeah.
And then
what do you think they had? I think that I see the doctor.
Fried rice.
Okay, I see fried rice. I see the doctor personally as being more like a garlic chicken and peanuts. That's what I see him eating.
I think Clara would be eating fried rice.
Fried rice? Maybe sweet and sour?
I
bet
sesame chicken.
Sai is a sweet and sour.
Sesame chicken for Clara. Maybe.
Yeah.
So Sai and Saber leave, and it's just Clara and the doctor, and she says, "Oh no." He says, 7:12, I got you here, just like I told you. You're right on time for your date. And she says, "Oh no. I just realized I have to go eat now."
She just ate all that Chinese food.
And he says, "Oh, don't worry, calories don't count on the TARDIS." And she says, "Oh, they don't?" And he says,
No, she says, "Are you kidding?" And like, yeah.
And he says, "Of course they do. It's a time machine, not a miracle worker." And
I could still eat though.
So she has to.
Oh, I could.
Because otherwise it's going to look... She could have a salad. So she leaves.
I could throw down on Chinese food and go for a full steak dinner afterwards.
Oh,
that's how it works.
That's how it works with me too.
So she leaves, and he says, "We robbed a bank. Beat that for a date."
Yeah.
He's up against
He's so jealous of
He
Danny.
is.
that he's gonna...
I love it.
I think Danny's gonna win.
I think Danny's going to win.
I don't want anybody to win. I just like this chemistry.
Right, but the doctor, the only woman he's married that we know of is River Song. So we know that the doctor and River Song are normally...
No, he doesn't. We haven't seen River Song.
Well, not with this doctor, but we know from the story of the doctor.
I bet... Well, I know it's going to be funny. I bet in one of the episodes, it's not going to show her for a long time, but then all of a sudden in one of the episodes, you're like, okay, here's the bad guy and stuff. It's like this episode where they're stealing something and then they like take off a mask of somebody and it's River.
Oh, it could be. River's got to reappear here.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be doing that.
But we may not see her even this season, but River has got to show back up because there's no way. Because the first time we saw River...
I think they're gonna take a mask off of somebody. It's gonna be River.
It's gonna be River, yeah. Well, the first time we saw her, when she saw Matt Smith, she said, "Oh, you look so young." So I wonder if she and this doctor are the ones that have the relationship that leads to all that. Because there's some reason that she doesn't want to tell him what the story is back then, and that she doesn't recognize him at first as being that same guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling she's going to pop back up.
Probably.
I hope so.
She's going to.
I'm waiting for Danny to be a companion.
Yeah, I think that's coming. So, Molly...
And, it's going to be awesome when he's a companion, because him and the doctor are just going to stand in the corner and fight like it's Robin Hood.
Yeah,
and the doctor.
Exactly.
They're just going to stand there and fight.
Well, I want to know how he's going to...
doing everything.
I want to know how he's going to deal with Danny, because he doesn't like soldiers.
Dad, no. He's looking for what Danny has where he doesn't like... Danny regrets being a soldier. He doesn't like it.
But the doctor's going to have a hard time with that at first. But the doctor also regrets things in his life, so I think that's where they're going to bond, and Danny is probably going to be a very important character.
And I want to say Danny doesn't regret being a soldier. Danny is proud of the good he did as a soldier, but he regrets having to hurt anybody.
He's going to be an important companion. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because he has been, like, we haven't seen a story when kids are like, have you ever killed anybody outside the warren? And he starts crying.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
So
I wonder if we'll go back and see something.
Has he met the doctor before?
Could be. Like the first time he sees him, will he be like, wait a minute. He did meet him when he was a kid.
Right.
So I wonder if when the doctor shows up, because the next episode, the doctor shows up at their school as a janitor.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I wonder if
He's been a teacher before.
I wonder if he'll start to
know. You said Rose was the lunch lady?
Yeah, Rose was the lunch lady, and he's the teacher.
I wonder if he'll recognize him.
Slightly different jobs.
You know? Especially when he's there with Clara, if all of a sudden he'll be like, wait a minute, something here. And that's what's going to get him into the
And
TARDIS.
then he's going to recognize Clara and be like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not from a show, by the way. We're just waiting.
Yeah, it's from our show. All right, that's it. So did you have anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Nope.
Oh, I can't wait for the next episode.
Me too.
You know, I also, Molly, just so you know, I just found out, I was reading about the show. They are not splitting this season. In the past, they've always split the seasons in two. They're going to do 12 episodes straight through for season 8. So we have, what do we have? Another 7 episodes to go, which is awesome. 7 in a row. Can't wait. That's it, everybody. Thank you for listening. You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts, as well as all of our social media links at
www.southgatemediagroup.com. That's our website.
Yes. Please send us emails. Our email is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. Get in communication with us. Find us on Facebook and Twitter and wherever you can, and write to us. Let us know your theories. Let us know your thoughts about this season. Correct us where we're wrong, which I'm sure we are on some things.
Oh, sure.
Well,
that's pretty much it.
Mainly talk about how awesome I am.
Or not.
Or not.
Please tell him to stop saying Penn and Teller.
Yes, please tell me to stop saying... Well, they won't be in the next episode, so I'm done with that. And that should do it. Let's end this thing.
But the Tellers are probably going to come back in it, so...
Could be. Maybe they breed really quickly. So we'll have like a planet of Tellers coming up. No pens. Make it feel better. Maybe they'll keep them in pens. Then it'll be Tellers in pens.
Oh.
Thank you. All right. Let's end this. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Alonzi!
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.